think the most important thing in finding a balance when you have a big family like I do, and you also have a job that for certainly half the year is almost taking you away full time, is to just know that, just like we said, here's my priorities. It's faith, it's family, it's football. So when I'm not in football, I'm with my family. And, you know, I'm not golfing, I'm not going out with the guys, having a guys' night out or going to play cards. It's, you know, I'm either at work or I'm with my family, doing family stuff. And you just accept, hey, I'm not going to have a lot of hobbies and other things that I'm going to be doing in my life. My first coaching job was actually a volunteer job with the University of Dayton. I was still in the Air Force, and I'd go into work early so I could get off early to make it over for practice. I'd take my leave for training camp, etc. And did that for 3 years, and then got a job with Virginia Military Institute, went to Bucknell, went to the XFL, if you remember that goofy wrestling league they had a few years ago, and then ended up at Mercyhurst College, which is a small Division II school up in Pennsylvania, and was there for 4 years, and it was a good job, but my family was growing, and you know, one of the pieces of advice my dad gave me was, listen, if you're going to coach, that's fine, but if it's not going in the direction you want it to go, don't be afraid to get out. Don't think that you're trapped as a coach. And so here I am, mid-30s, 3 kids, not making enough money, and I started thinking about, hey, what else can I do to maybe support my family a little better? And that's when I caught a break. One of my best friends from the Air Force Academy was coaching with the Falcons, and they had a position open, and you know, just kind of at that last moment, I caught my break where I could go to the Falcons and made a little bit more money to support the family, and got fired there after 1 year. The staff did, and that's when I caught on here with the Saints. My job as a quarterback coach is probably a little more mundane than what most people think. It's a lot of watching film. We're heavily involved in getting the game plan together. Hey, what plays do we want to run? What formations do we want to run them out of? And so you spend the first couple days of the week just watching a ton of film of the team you're about to play and coming up with these plays. And then the players come in and you have your first practice on Wednesday, and it's just presenting that game plan to them, kind of teaching them, hey, here's the plays we're going to run, helping them understand why, taking their feedback. When you coach a guy like Drew Brees, he doesn't just listen. He's going to give you feedback. Hey, I like this. Hey, could we change this to that? And so it's just melding what he wants from what you've come up with in your planning process to get this game plan, practice it, and you know, getting these guys ready to play on Sunday. And so it's you know, there's not a whole lot of excitement during the week if you're not in love with the game of football. It's a lot of kind of watching film and studying these guys in minute detail. We went down to Miami to play the Dolphins, and just so happened that year in 2009 the Super Bowl was in Miami. So we're in the same locker room that we'd eventually be in for the Super Bowl, and we got trounced in the first half of that game. We were down, I think, 24 points. And we made this incredible, miraculous comeback in the second half and won the game in the fourth quarter. And we're in that locker room, we're like, hey, we might be back here, we're 5-0, and we just kind of felt this momentum going to having this great season. Now, at the same time, at the end of that year, we lost 3 straight games to end the season, and that kind of brought you back down to earth, where a lot of people were saying, hey, is this fate? You know, you guys just fated to win the Super Bowl, and you realize, you know, I think there's an old saying, you know, pray as if everything depends on God and work as if everything depends on you. And so, you know, it's so easy to lose a football game, and when you get in the playoffs, it's single elimination. So we thought we had a special team, but you know, you're still biting your nails every week because you got to go out and perform every Sunday. First time I held the Super Bowl trophy, we got on the bus, and you know, I kind of sit right behind Sean Payton on the bus, and he got on with the Super Bowl trophy. So he held a little bit, handed it to Drew Brees, who was sitting next to him, then it kind of made its way back to me. And so you just had a couple moments with it because we were handing it, everyone on the bus obviously wanted their turn with it. So that was neat. But then we had a Super Bowl party afterwards at the hotel, and my dad was there, and my brothers, and my sister, and so we kind of got the whole family together with the trophy early hours of Monday morning after the Super Bowl, and got kind of some family portraits with it. And that was special seeing my dad hold it, and just having the whole family there with the trophy that was named after our grandfather. It was a neat moment. At some level, if you have a strong faith life, it's going to help you in anything you do, because it's going to instill in you it's going to motivate you to try to instill certain virtues in yourself and values, and that should help you in anything you do. But you know, I kind of look at it the other way. How does being a football coach help me be a better Catholic, a better, you know, faithful person? And I look at it that football is about fundamentals, all right? And we get caught up in these fancy formations and plays, and we try to kind of out-coach each other, but it's really blocking, and it's tackling, and it's catching the football, and it's running the football correctly. So it's fundamentals. And so how does that apply to me as a Catholic? There's fundamentals to our Catholic faith. You know, it's It's the sacraments. It's going to church. It's receiving Eucharist. It's confession frequent. It's the rosary. There's all these things that are kind of the fundamentals of our faith. And so I kind of look at it not so much, hey, how does being a Catholic help me be a better coach? Hopefully it does. But really I try to, since being a Catholic, being a faithful person should be the most important part of our life, how does being a football coach help me be a better Catholic? And that's kind of the way that I frame the question in my mind. My Catholic faith is extremely important in my role as a husband and father, because the virtues that the Catholic Church tries to motivate you to pursue, and it helps you become less selfish, and that's probably, unselfishness is probably the most important virtue you can have as a father and a husband. And so just the life that the Catholic Church encourages you to live, I think it can't help but make you a better father, help you be a better husband.